Maybe it's not so much case today, but back when I was starting out, there was some truth to that software engineers make a lot of money. And it was part of the reason why I chose this profession. I didn't come from a wealthy background, far from it, so naturally I optimized for my income and basic survival. But that's not the reason I love being a software engineer. Many people think this is a laid-back sort of profession. You know, easy, don't do much work at all, walk around and consume free food and drinks at the office. But that's also not true at all. This is a hard job. No 2 days are the same. There's always some stuff that goes haywire in the code you haven't even touched, and the deadlines can be quite brutal. So if you're looking for an easy job, this one is not it. I often fantasize, and by the way, this is not just me, it's a lot of the colleagues that I spoke to. I often think about how I would like to be a barista or something like that instead. Not because it's easier, but because I work on the computer for long hours, and often I feel disconnected from the real world, so I dream about these kinds of professions. But even so, I remain a software engineer. Why? Well, there is a much deeper sort of advantage that you gain when you learn how to code, comparing to other engineering disciplines. And that's the ability to create something from basically nothing. Unlike making a physical product, all of the building blocks of software are readily available, and this is highly underrated by most people, and very few take advantage of it fully. But once you internalize this idea, it's incredibly motivating all in itself. It's that moment you realize you don't really have to wait for anyone to come and make things happen the way you want them to. You can automate the shit out of your life and obligations with a few simple scripts. You can make custom tools that fit your workflow exactly, not kind of, but exactly. And I'll show you one such tool I made. You can provide a lot of value to a lot of people by solving a common problem, and ultimately by doing so you can even make a lot of money if you choose to. It's entirely possible to one day start from a blank file and a few years later wake up running a very successful software company. This possibility alone is why I like being a software engineer. The lack of the glass ceiling and the abundance of free resources to help you along the way. I want to show you one tool I worked on in the past week that really got me excited to make this video. I've decided to really optimize my workflow when it comes to YouTube and take this channel to the next level. And so I hired an editor to help me out with the production so that I can focus more on actually finishing the apps that I'm working on and also record more vlogs. But making the switch from working alone to working with others requires more careful planning. I can't just go out, record some random shots and hope that my editor will understand what I was trying to say. Especially if I also film some code. I can't expect Snai to sit down and read through the code to try and match it with what I'm saying. So I came up with this tool to help us both work on the same video. Check this out. Here I have this exact video, and at the top you have sections of the video. They are also color coded, which indicates different editing styles, but that's a detail we won't have to go over. Each section consists of shots, and for each shot, based on the part that I'm saying, the approximate duration is calculated here. But most importantly, each shot gets an automatically generated label, like this one on the side. The first letter indicates the section and the second one indicates the shot. Then all the shots get summed up and the calculated timestamps are shown at the top, so that you know exactly how long each section is. And because I know the approximate duration of the shot, I'm not wasting the camera battery or the memory card by recording way too much. For example, when I go out and work out of a coffee shop, I might spend 45 minutes actually coding, but I surely don't need to record all 45 minutes of it. But it doesn't stop there. When I check something off, I actually save the timestamp of when it was filmed, so that when I open my tab to show the shots that I already filmed, they're in the exact same order as the files on the memory card. Then all I gotta do is review the shots, and if they're good, I rename them with the exact shot labels that I have in my app. So when I send them over to Snai, there is very little confusion about what shot goes where, and he can focus on making a very smooth video instead of reading my code. Later, I might even write a script that takes the files on my SD card and renames them automatically based on the timestamps, uploads them to Dropbox, and all I have to do is select the video they are related to. This is why I love being a software engineer. Alright, but back to where I was. Let's actually do some coding and I'll show you another example of why I love being a software engineer. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, sponsor, Surfshark VPN. A VPN service protects your privacy while you're in a coffee shop or generally connecting to a public Wi-Fi. Many companies use our internet traffic to determine where we are, who we are with, for how long we stayed there, and what we did online. And I'm not sitting here waiting for my data to be collected and sold to the highest bidder. And one more thing, by changing your location, you can unlock geo-restricted content, and this is huge. But even better, you can get better prices for online bookings like airplane tickets and hotels. Surfshark also comes with advanced tools like antivirus, alert, and search to further improve your internet security. If you use the code WITHMARCO, you can get 3 extra months for free, so check out the link in the description. Alright, sometimes when I'm recording my screen for the videos, I really want to set up window in a way that it's centered and has a 16:9 aspect ratio. Now, some time ago I made a window manager app, and I recently added a keyboard shortcut that allows you to center a window, but that wasn't enough for me. And at this point I would like to issue a formal apology to my users for not releasing this version yet, but as part of that change I also did some moderately dangerous refactoring, and I would like to make sure that the app is stable. So I've been testing it for some time now, making sure that it has no memory leaks and other ugly stuff like that. But back to the main topic. I found myself often resizing the window to kind of make the 16:9 aspect ratio by hand, but it's always a bit tricky to get it right. And then yesterday I thought, fuck it. I made the window manager app itself. I can also add the keyboard shortcut for this exact thing I need. And so today I'm gonna be drinking my coffee and working on this feature. Nobody asked for it but me, but hey, feature creep, let's go. So after about 45 minutes, I kind of had it working, but the coffee shop was closing, so I needed to go. And I have a few more things to finish up in the city, so let's get going. The main thing I want to do is actually get another mouse. The MX Master 3S is working great, but I need one more. Back at home, I've improved my desk setup recently, and so my beloved wife has now started using it much more. We have one set of peripherals for the desk setup, but I've gotten so used to the mouse that now I can't work without it effectively. So I'm just getting a second one so that I can carry it with my good self anywhere I go. I also have a new mechanical keyboard that just arrived, and I'm super excited about unboxing it in one of the next videos. So if you want to see that video, make sure to subscribe. Right now, I'll be actually looking at what happened with the UI of the app. I think it became much wider after I updated to macOS Sonoma. So I'll be debugging what happened there. And yeah, breaking changes do occur even at the largest of companies. And I'm looking at you, Apple. But it's all part of the job. One more thing I just added is the version number to the UI as well, since quite a few people asked me for it. So I'll be pushing this out now, and you guys can let me know if it's working on your side. I have big plans moving forward with this app now that the major cleanup and refactor of the code is done. I'll be working on the new settings window in preparation for some awesome features to come. I'm curious, for those of you who are software engineers in the audience, what is your main motivation to stay in this profession? And while you're thinking about that, here's a quick anecdote. My manager and I were interviewing a guy for a backend position at my day job, and after the interview I had quite a nice impression of this person, so I said, I think he's the kind of guy who reads the documentation and release notes of cloud providers and tools in his free time. And my manager just responded with, don't we all? And with that bombshell, I leave you to it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one.